you. I just downloaded the other one from yesterday. Sometimes it takes them a while to process. I don't know why. Sometimes they're fast and sometimes they're slower. But, okay. So, hi.
Hi.
You doing good?
Yeah, my parents came to pick up the kids like an hour ago. They set up their kiddie pool, so I'm going over there later, and then we have
fun
VBS family night. But I feel like I can just like breathe. Like there's no fighting or constant questions.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we need that. Yeah. Which is kind of another reason that Bree's going to these homeschool schools. Because, well, it's different. I think I told you it's different because she doesn't have siblings. Yeah, I dealt with that with the boys and be like, okay, I always dealt with that. But that has somebody to play with, and she doesn't have anybody. And it's constant. Mama, play with me. Mama, this. Mama, that. She didn't have anybody to talk to or anything. So, and if she's extrovert, she just needs that. Like, today or this week was the test week of how she's done with the VBS and then the ballet camp. And she seems to even be better at home. Like, it was this need for her to socialize. And she's a little bit more calm at home. And I was thinking, okay. And on top of being social, she's just very, very, very active. Very active. So I'm hoping this works. I'm just praying. I feel like we have a piece. So I don't know. It'll be an interesting thing for me. I needed to ask you one question real quick because Janine, I think in one of her questionnaires, she does ask if you've been inappropriately touched or things have happened. And the reason she does that is because when she's talking about certain things, she just wants to be sure that it doesn't trigger something. And she said, Livia, I know she'd answered yes on that. That is everything that I said. Was it okay? Did it bother her? Yeah. And I said, no, I think she'd probably be okay. So some women, I think it probably affects them differently. So I just wanted to make sure, she goes, I just want to make sure that we're good to go and it doesn't affect her.
Yeah. We're good.
Okay, good. I was thinking it probably would be okay, but I thought, well, let me just double check just to make sure. So, are you learning a lot from her? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I've had that same neck pain for years, and I had gone to a physical therapist. I don't know. We had so many free visits or that were included with our insurance. And so I did that. And it was kind of trial and error with that gal. And she was kind of not too far out from just being a fresh graduate. So, but I never really had any relief. But anyway, those, the thing where the ugly guy coming at you and those, they really have been helping a lot. So I tried to do that the rows this morning, but it really kind of aggravated my neck, so I just didn't do them. But anyway.
Let me show you this. You just ignore my messy house. I told you I'm so behind. It is such a mess. Let me show you something else if it aggravates you. I don't know if you could do this. Okay. So you could take this even here. Just sit. And you can just do it lightly. This doesn't even have much pressure on it. And you can even just do one at a time. And that might aggravate you a little bit. But I was actually doing these this morning. In a workout that I had created. So you can get more tension. So if it's aggravating, what I would do is either go real light tension, okay?
Yeah.
Or just do this. Or just come here and just do this without weights.
Okay. Yeah, just the movement and
you can stand up and do that. So you could do those without weights.
okay.
And I was thinking, why didn't I tell Kylee she could do this on the floor? Because I wasn't thinking.
Oh,
And
yeah.
sometimes you have to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
But sometimes sitting can actually hit it in a different position. So, yes, do you see all the, this is all paint. It's paint and all her little deals. And I'm letting her sit on her tray. Where is it? With my dog. Look, see, do you see all my laundry? Yeah, everything is this huge mess. So we downsized about, did I tell you that? We downsized?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You know how I'm talking about how important speaking things are?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So God showed me this because I came from a very, very horrible poverty mindset from both families. So my dad does have money. He probably has $1 million in savings. But he's poverty mindset. Like, he is old school. You have to work 100 hours a week. And his saying is, po folks got po ways. He's a redneck. He really is a redneck. It's just, so, like, for instance, he came to visit and I told my husband, I said, my dad may walk around in his underwear. I'm just letting him. And, we first got married and he was downstairs cooking us breakfast in his underwear, it's like, so you just got to kind of know how he is. And, anyway, everybody on my mom's side feels guilty if they have nice things. So I totally just have this horrible poverty mindset, and I can't even remember how many years ago now. Well, we've been in this house probably 2 years now, and it's a teeny tiny little 1,000 square foot 2-bedroom house. And we downsized because my husband had a job and he's in sales. For 8 months, he didn't make enough to even pay rent. But he just provided and provided and provided and provided in just different ways. And I felt like we'll just downsize. So at that time, all the kids had moved out. They were all grown, and they moved out. And I was like, let's just do this. Yeah. And let's save up. Also, we've been married since 2011, and my ex-husband, who made tons of money, when I left, he just totally let the house go, and it went for foreclosure. When Dusty got divorced, him and his ex, they both worked, and he couldn't afford it, and he tried to sell it and short sell, and it wouldn't sell. So it went into bankruptcy. So we've had to we have been working on building credit. But anyways, I was in this house, and I was working on speaking and everything, and God always he said to me, I heard him say, what have you always said about staying home with your kids and where you would live? And I went, I just sat there I said this for years. I will live in a 2-bedroom shack if I can stay home with my kid. That's what I spoke all the time. Now, our house is cute and everything, and it's not in a bad neighborhood, so it's not a shack. But it's just that God was teaching me what you speak is what you get. So I don't speak that anymore. And so God's been blessing us in all kinds of ways. And now we're kind of on the hunt for a house, but I'm not moving until I find exactly what I want. So it's one of those things. But that's how important, how important speaking is. I did not realize that, because I didn't feel like I deserved anything better. And even when I was getting my wedding ring, when we were getting married, I said, just go to Walmart and get me something. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Or just get me a little band. And he was like, I am not getting you something from Walmart, blah, blah, blah. And literally, I don't care. I just don't care. And I used to have this gold party business where I would go, that was a whole nother thing God blessed me with, where I would go and have gold parties and these people would come and do their gold. I mean, I'd walk away with I'd have to come with thousands and thousands of dollars to give to people and the hostess, and then I'd get a percentage of it. Well, I had a jeweler that worked with me, and he was making my wedding ring, and he was showing me all this, and he finally sat down and looked at me and he said, do you not think you deserve this? Oh my gosh. I went home and bawled and cried, and that was an area that I knew I didn't think that. So, and I think that even kind of did that into this house, not realizing it. Remember I told you that God told me to drive around neighborhoods?
Yeah.
So after he spoke that to me, he told me to drive around neighborhoods. So I did.
Yeah.
And I really don't have that much of a poverty mindset anymore. It's broken. I believe that I'm worthy. I'm God's daughter. I'm not an orphan, a slave. I'm a child of God. And just like I want to bless Bree, God wants to bless us. And so, I don't know, I thought I would share that with you too, as I was talking, because I know that you have dealt with shame, not good enough. Yeah. And sometimes hearing people's stories and testimonies helps.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I deal with something I've told one of my friends, it's weird, but if I have people over that have less than me, which we're very just middle class, we're not whatever, anything special, but then I feel bad. I'm oh my gosh, I don't want to make them feel bad or I'm uppity. But then if I have people over that have more than us, I'm oh, they must think I am, we're just I don't know what the word is, just normal, or we don't live up to their class or whatever. And so I just don't know why. I guess it's a confidence and secure, what is that? A contentment, and just, I don't know. Anyway, it's weird. I
think a lot of people deal with that. I have not wanted, God has made me invite people to my house that have had more than me. That has stretched me.
Yeah.
And even clients that may be local to me, which I don't work with a lot of them because I don't advertise here, but more and more people are finding out about me, and I don't have a gym. I don't have a place to go. And so inside I start thinking, or I have, what if they think because I live in this small house that I'm not good at what I do, or it's a reflection of my skills or a reflection of something else. And I mean, some of these women live in very expensive neighborhoods. Mom, in this. I will get it cleaned, okay? Okay. See, that's Kylee. Remember?
Hi.
Okay. So,
Mommy,
I think stepping out of our comfort zone there and just knowing I am doing this. I want you to come to my house because I'm going to feel confident no matter what. This house does not define me. It doesn't. Now I want you to go in there while I'm on my phone. Okay. Go in there.
Mommy, I want Barbies.
I'm not. You can have Barbies if you pick all that up right there.
I don't want them.
Yeah, you don't want Barbies because you don't want to clean up. Look at my eyes. Look at Mommy's eyes. You go back in the living room. Thank you. So just, stepping out and doing stuff when it makes me scared, but it helps me to love who I am. And here's the other thing. We inherited a weed yard. It's awful. And I'm not going to dump in tons of money into a yard if I'm renting it. Now, we take care of it, but how do you take care of a weed yard? You mow weeds. And so that's another thing. I'm oh yeah, just come over to my house. I'm a slob because I don't do my yard. But those are things that really affect me, I'm glad that I've gone through it because it's helped me, get through this. But I know what you mean. We have to be content with people who are lower than us and people who are higher than us. nobody's really low or higher, but I'm talking financial wise
right.
and material things. And so, um, just I would say put yourself in these positions to practice it and to feel. So I even used to, when I go in these neighborhoods and drive around and I'd see people, I'd think, they know that I don't belong here. I mean, these are ridiculous thoughts. Like they know I don't belong here. I do not fit in with these people, or
I felt like that driving.
yes, it's awful. And I think, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And so I'm pretty good now. I can be around people. Like every now and then, a little thought will try to attack me, but I can get it away pretty quick now. And I do find people who are their finance situations are lower than me, or just because of how I was raised. But it's the ones who are way up here, and God keeps putting. So what I've learned too is God, when you see somebody who has something that you want, instead of being jealous, it's like, thank you, God, that you're showing me that I have the opportunity to have this too, and that you love me, and you're just showing me that this is available to me. You're no respecter of persons. And so because we can be jealous of people, or we think even people.
Okay, so you'll have to like.
Okay.
Oh man,
yeah.
Ow.
And so, just practicing that, as well. And she distracted me. I was going to say something else, but yeah, I just like knowing that, hey, I can have this too. And why are we jealous of people? That's what I was talking about. We're jealous when people get things. Oh, especially people we think don't deserve it.
Yeah.
So I got knocked on my butt pretty hard for 2 years, I would say, because I told you everything that was happening with Dusty's ex and all the false accusations and how horrible and mean she was. And then she got all the kids to come to her and side with her and not come over. She was buying them. She was threatening them. She was, I mean, it was ridiculous. And then she married somebody who had a lot of money, and they were having all these nice things while we were going through all this hard stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my goodness gracious. Like, I was mad at God for a while because I said, why does she get all the kids? She gets all this. But really, she wasn't getting all that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's happened now. But it took me a while to say, it's none of my business what you do with people. She's your daughter, and you know what she needs. And his goal, his heart for her is wholeness. So, in health.
Yeah.
And I have to take her off my hook and put her on his hook and say, she's not mine. She's yours. And you bless her, do whatever you want with her. And that's when, I started praying blessings over her and praying for her like I would pray for me. And it just freed me to know ultimately God has a plan for her, for the kids, for us. And I'm just going to do my part. I'm not saying I don't get attacked because I have to see her, she gives you dirty looks if you walk in, and it's like, here she is, and Dusty will be in front of me. She'll smile at Dusty, and then when I get to her, she gives me dirty looks. And I think, and I just think, okay, if that's how you want to be, I mean, I would hate to be in your mind. Whatever, you're miserable, I'm happy, so whatever.
Yeah.
It's freeing to be that way. But yeah, so how are you doing with like the trust, the shame, the rejection, the not gonna? Here, keep that thought. Let me go watch her real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, pretty good. Like, I had another dream last night about, I can't
Okay.
really remember it, with, her name's Brittany. And, but I feel like since I've been saying the goals, and one of them is, over just kind of that, and having her name in it, like, I feel like I can say her name like easier, you know what I mean, and not
Good.
just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't even like hear it in my head. But I usually read those and then get in the shower, the goals, and then it'll just kind of be fresh, and so I'll just kind of pray for her and just, so
Just keep remembering this is for you to be free.
yeah.
You have to just remember that. That is for you to be free, because it is hard to pray for them, and we need freedom to walk in who we are, and we can't if we have that unforgiveness going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's great what you're doing. That's awesome. You are so far ahead than other people, because other people can't. I mean, they don't want to do this. This is hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Am I
Yeah.
pausing?
Huh?
Am I pausing? Am I okay?
No.
Okay.
This past week, I feel like has just been like a tornado, because we've just been on the go so much, and my kids, the swim lessons have not like gone well. My oldest, like, I feel like she came out of the womb like unhappy and angry, and you can't like comfort her. Like, she wanted me but never cuddled, like sit on the lap but don't touch me, or sit on my.
Is she an introvert?
No, I think she's a very, like, she always likes getting together with people, but
Is she bossy?
at home, but she's more of a follower, like, at other places. But at church, or when I did like preschool and pre-K, like at a Christian school with her before this past year that we homeschooled, and she's like perfect. At church they're like, oh, she's just perfect. She's the only one that listens. She answers like, perfectly. She's the only one that answers and speaks up. And but then at home, like, she doesn't listen. She's just, I'm like, all right, she just never is happy. She's hard to please. And anyway, and I don't know if I had a real hard time after she was born. I had expectations from books, like no experience around kids growing up. And she was not an easy baby. Nursing didn't go well. And I was just like angry, hormonal, tried to sleep train her, just like, I just was irritated with her a lot. And I'm not sure if I caused some stuff in her, just that we didn't connect really well. But with my second, I basically have held her to sleep for her first 2 years of life, and there's a good attachment with my second, even though there was C-sections with both. That I think was an issue for me with attaching with the kids. And I'm not like a natural mom, like real motherly, and my mom wasn't, but she's like my best friend, but just not real
Nurturing?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's easier with my second than with my first. And anyway, they fight a lot. Lily, my older one, she fights me on everything. She says like the meanest stuff. Like, I don't even know where it comes from. If she's in trouble, she will just dig deeper and say mean things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, haven't you realized this never helps, And anyway, I feel like I've had a lot of like negative thoughts, like, just, like, it's not like I don't want to be their mom, but just thoughts like, like this is like so hard. Like I just, I don't know. And I think in those moments I try to like, okay, children are a blessing. God meant for me to be their mom and for them to be my child. But then it's just like, it's been like constant this week. And so I'm like, I feel like I haven't been doing well at the replacing lies with truth and
in that area.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, that's what I was going to say. Is that a goal of yours written down about?
No.
Okay, so go ahead and add one.
Okay.
This is a biggie. So that's what I want you to do is go ahead and do the same thing for that with your kids, especially your other daughter. Now I'm a personality junkie studier. Okay. So some of it could be personality with your daughter, and I'm going to tell you a good place to learn from if you want to.
Okay.
But how was your pregnancy with her emotionally? How was your marriage? How did you feel when you were pregnant with her?
I had a miscarriage prior to her, and like we were really wanting to have kids, and we were just so happy to be pregnant with her, and I really wanted a daughter, and I really wanted to name her Lily, or always liked the name Lily, and just pregnancy wise, it really wasn't bad. My first trimester, I always get this breathing weirdness that like nobody has ever had that I talk to. Like I can't get a deep breath. Like I'm like, it just like won't fill up all the way. And so then it kind of creates this
Anxiety?
Yeah, like I can't, like I'm always trying to like get the full breath because I feel like I never could. But then that goes away when second trimester started, and then I may have had some queasiness, but never any like throwing up or anything.
But emotionally, were you okay? Were you fearful because you miscarried? Was y'all's marriage good?
I was fearful because of that whole like parasite thing, and we had gotten these dogs, and like they were just full of worms, and I'm like, we'd give them pills and they just keep getting them. And then we lived in the country, so there were mice in the garage, and then I learned about fleas on mine. Anyway, so I was just paranoid, like that there were like worms attacking her inside me. And so
Amy's sister died.
Okay, go in there, baby.
I'm watching Heartland. They're number one, and Mommy's little girl died.
Okay.
No.
Their mom.
Mom.
Okay.
But the little girl was in the hospital.
Okay. But you go in there. Okay, sorry. Okay, so did you deal with that with your second pregnancy? Were you happier in your second pregnancy than this one?
No.
Okay.
Well, the first, I think emotionally everything was okay. And my second, when I was, well, I think I was still just like, I don't know, motherhood just wasn't great. My husband worked a job like 3/12s, and it was just random days, random times. And he drove about an hour one way. So, and then we weren't doing great. And that I found out about him and that other girl when I was 8 months.
With your second.
Yeah. And so I'm just like, how did she turn out well? Because I was a mess. And,
well, so that's what I was trying to see. And you never know, because even different personalities are going to take the feelings that they have in the womb even differently. So it sounds to me her personality could be clashing with yours. And so, and also you you can go back and start praying for any healing, that happened, if there was anything that happened in the womb for her, and then you just need to just cover it with prayer. And have you ever done sozo?
I don't know.
I'm not going to do that today, but maybe we can focus on some of that and some theophostics. It's kind of like prayer and deliverance. I don't know if that freaks you out, but we may focus on that next time, just for a few things and just to see what God tells us through it. So that's what. Okay, so have you heard of Carol Tuttle with Dressing Your Truth?
Yeah.
Okay, have you done it?
Yeah.
So what type are you?
Well, I think a type 2, but then I just question it because I'm like, is that just the way I am? Because the facial profiling, I'm like, I don't know if I'm really a 2. Because it seems like whenever I would watch her do all these people on Facebook or whatever, it was just not what I thought.
Yes,
I'm gonna put it in.
I know. No, ma'am.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you were a 2. I've been staring at you, but you got this little nose and you got these little cheeks, and I don't know, sometimes think you're 1, but then you got these little took eyebrows.
I know.
But you have a rounded forehead. So I'm a 1. I've been so confused over what I am for a long time, but that's why I know I'm a 1. But I have studied her stuff for hours and hours and hours.
Me too.
I still don't even know my secondary. Like, I move in 3 also, but then I'm maybe a 1-4 or maybe a 1-2. I cannot decide.
Yeah.
I used to think I was a 3-2, but I'm not a 3.
No, yeah.
So I know I'm a 1. I just know but I don't know my secondary, and sometimes it drives me crazy, and then I think, why do I have to know?
I know.
But it does help me to understand myself better, and if I've been moving in another way. But so that I was supposed to say, have you done The Child Whisperer?
I have the book. I haven't read it yet.
Okay. So, and I'm not going to say I agree. No, I told you I'm about to you're just going to have to go in your room.
How about this?
I told you 5 paintbrushes. You're not going to get 30 of them. Put them back up there. 5. Pick 5 out. So I don't know. That's why I was like, is her daughter a 4? Is she an introvert? Is she a 3 if she's like that? Is she like get stuff done? So, knowing your type is going to help know how to parent her better. And so I don't, I can't decide. Like, you could actually live in your secondary and be a 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but you're more introverted, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm both. Like, I'm energized by alone time and around people. And I'm an outgoing introvert.
Mommy,
yeah. I probably am.
I only got 6.
But
Mommy, I got 6.
Okay, just go in there.
That's fine?
That's fine. Okay.
I get messed up on like how much of my childhood was I shaped by my parents, and am I taking that on versus the way I really was created to be. I got obsessed with that and like personalities, and then I was just like, why does it matter? Because I got to appreciate with Carol Tuttle like our differences like in our family, because I think my husband is a 4, but he's also like a 1. He might be, I think, a 4-1 or a 1-4, because he's very like spontaneous. Everything will be okay, positive, but he can also be like, he's very like reserved, and people like think he's like
rude.
Yeah, like they're just like, are you ever happy? And I'm like, oh my, like he's a fun guy. But, my youngest, I think she's a 1, and then Lily, I mean, I think a 3-2.
And if she's a 3-2, I don't like to speak things over people, but I have a son that's a 3-2 or a 3-4. oh my gosh. I mean, him driving, when he calls me, he's on the phone going, that idiot, he doesn't, da-da-da-da-da, that idiot,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. But he can get stuff done. And he's
Yeah.
there, if you need anything, he's there for you. But he is brash, and he can be rude. I mean, he's just going to tell you how it is. And I'm like, his whole entire life, I've been, if the way you talk to me is going to be the way you talk to your wife. And the other day, I had to tell him, because he's married, I said, women emotionally divorce their husbands before they physically divorce them. If you are not nice, she is going to get to that point. And he has a big heart. Like, he's my son who calls me every day on his way to work or on his way home from work. Mom, do you need this? Mom, do you need that? Or, but they are not easy. And him and I can go like this. And being a one, I think we can be stubborn too. So I can bump up to him and be like, you are not going to talk to me that way, and blah, 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 blah. My kids don't get to run over me. And so it kind of can put us like this. And so if she is a 3-2 or a 3-4, their personalities are just not the easiest things.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
And she's probably a 1-3. Pretty much. I thought she was a 3-1. I think she's a 1-3. And sass deluxe. So,
yeah. Yeah.
I don't think there's any introvert in her. But yeah, so that's really good. So maybe read the Child Whisperer and just see. I don't agree with everything Carol Tuttle does with the child raising.
Mm-hmm.
Just I pray too. God's my number one. Lord, show me what to do with her. But I take stuff that I think, oh my gosh, I didn't think about doing this with her.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm constantly telling her no, because she's just into everything all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, personality, and then we can look at, like I said, some of that prayer. But I would read that. So do you think you're a 1 or a 2?
I don't know, cause I don't know. Sometimes when I smile, like I have kind of that. I don't know, but then I also have that kind of blended. But I'm not
How were you as a child?
Well, it's kind of hard. Like, I was an only child, so my mom worked, my dad worked, and they were doing stuff, so but I was more kind of reserved, I guess. Like, I liked friends, but I didn't like rejection.
Maybe you are a 2.
Why? I'm a people pleaser. I never.
So maybe you are 2. My first hit was a 2.
Yeah. I guess my eyebrows throw me off on my secondary because I'm either a 1 or 3, and I don't know if I pick up a 3 from my parents.
Yeah, but you've got this little nose that's like this, and when you smile. See, you've got those little round apple cheeks, and you have this round forehead. Yeah. But you're gonna have other things in your, my husband's a 2-1, but you would think his eyebrows kind of do this little thing. Yeah. There is not 3 in the man, hardly at all. Yeah. But he is spontaneous. He's chill. He's a jokester. That comes from his 1. He's too, he's my husband that tears up in movies. He can write. He tears up when I don't tear up. He's, and I think my mom, she is the most bubbliest one. I'm more serious. So I'm not as serious. She's different.
Yeah.
Yes. So the reason I feel like she's a 1-2, but I feel like, how can I be a 1-2 if you're a 1-2? So I don't know. Because I am more serious and I can be more bossy.
Yeah.
Like when she, like but my bossiness, I try to come off not so bossy because of my one.
Yeah.
I want people to be okay. But like mom and I cleaned houses together. I owned a cleaning company, and she talks with her hands, and so do I. But I'd be like, hey, you need to clean and talk. So that's just, so sometimes I think I'm that for. But so I'm just wondering, because when with you, it's like, okay, this can kind of help me understand how to help her out of the two. And so the thing to know about twos is that you do deal with that more.
Yeah.
You know, the rejection sometimes, or the people pleasing.
Peace. Like, I like peacefulness. Like, that is my happiness. I like soothing sounds. I like sitting in the swing outside for like hours. Like, I could.
My husband too.
You know, and I think that's where the secondary, or I think they talk about it whenever what is ideal gets shifted. You just kind of, the way you react or respond is, I feel like that's what I've been living in, because like life is not peaceful, you know, whenever you have little.
Did you cry when you went through the Carol Tuttle thing? I bawled and cried when I went through her free thing at first, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not living in what I'm supposed to be living in. And
yeah, I can't remember. I cry at like about everything, but
okay.
But I also, like, my parents, I don't think I've ever seen them fight growing up. But my dad was put the wall up, won't talk to my mom for like 3 days, and she'd end up being like, you know, doing something to kind of make him soften up, like make a joke or whatever. And she's just like, it's not worth it, you know.
Is she one?
I think she's a 3 or 4. And I think my dad, like, he's a third born, but he is very like fun guy, but he's also like serious, get it done. This is my favorite song. Whatever. But
good.
But like everybody knows him, loves him. And
okay.
But I just had a peaceful upbringing. Like, even though my mom put like pressure on me to look a certain way or have good grades, like, it was peaceful. Like, the house was like no clutter, everything done all the time. My dad kept everything up to date, like my car, the grass, you know, just life was. Are you
a paper piler?
Yeah. But I think that's why I have such a hard time with my husband. He's like, this is just life. There's gonna be clutter. Things aren't perfect, you know. You just have to learn to. And I think I just really struggle. And but I am a yeller. Like, I never knew I could yell. And until, I mean, like, I will go head to head with the kids, and I'm like, no, I am getting the last. Like, you're not ending with you being, because my Lily wants to be in control. And anyway, I just, like, I didn't even know all this was in me, you know. And
kids can bring stuff out in us.
Yeah. But
okay. So. Well, we probably all can yell. We probably all get mad. We probably all, and that's where I get confused with the 1 and the 3 and the 4 and all this. Yeah. But I think ones can yell. Yeah, my mom can yell. My mom can yell, and she's a 1. She used to kick the dryer. She used to slam doors. Me growing up, I was like, oh my goodness gracious. But she's very nurturing. So, and she can yell, but, so just listen to you. I think definitely make your goal that with your daughter.
Okay.
See if you can figure her out, you know, with Child Whisperer, just because it helps. I have it on my Kindle, and I will pull it up sometimes. And like Bree sometimes does remind me of a 3. I really haven't decided if she's 3-1 or 1-3, but she's so, I just don't know.
Yeah.
But it's very important to know those things with them. And then how have you, are you doing your God flips? Has God spoken to you through them if you are, or?
Yeah. I haven't done them every day. I intend to, but then it's like my mom will call and be like,
Yes.
you guys want to come over? And then we're there for the rest of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I get home and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had so much to do and I'm upset. And my husband's like, then why did you go over there? But I'm like, because I love being over there. But,
Yeah.
But anyway, I feel like the overall theme is just realizing or understanding I don't know how to say it, like just my place in God's just well, I don't know how. I'm horrible at trying to explain things.
That's okay.
Well, it's always kind of just like, okay, this is where you were at, or where, people were in the Bible, like, and then like kind of the redemption on the other side of it. I feel like that has just been kind of the theme with them whenever I have done them. And like, there's just a hope, on the second one.
Good.
And so, yeah.
So he's taking you out of this and he's bringing you somewhere. So you're on your journey to getting there. I think that's really awesome. Okay. Have you looked at your worksheets or anything I sent you, or done any of the inner healing? Okay. So like mental strongholds, soul ties, hurts and traumas. Then there's like strong damaging emotions, judgment, inner vows, generational things, forgiveness. Have you gone through that? Do you think you need guidance or help through that, or any of them stand out to you?
Well, I read through all of it, and I do this with everything. Like, I'll read through it and be like, okay, I'm just gonna get I want to read all of it, and then I'll go back through it.
And you don't, in
depth. And but I read through the prayers, at the end of each one, and I think I just need to sit with them. And
so let me tell you something about the date rape thing. When we are intimate with people, even when we don't want to be intimate with people, that creates a soul tie. Do you know that?
No.
Okay. So and I need to ask you how you're feeling on healing in that area. So an attachment or bond we have with someone or something, it can be healthy or unhealthy. It can even be with a friend. It can be with a parent, just anything like that. So a lot of women who are raped or sexually abused, I had to break soul ties with the guys and the girl who, abused me. So that's something that you probably need to do for any of this. And then, you can go through that prayer, and that's an awesome prayer that you can do with them. And kind of how I look at it too is, and I don't know if it says that in here, but it's almost like you're attached to this person with an umbilical cord. Have you ever heard of that? Does it talk about that in here? I can't remember. So that's kind of how I do it. So when I pray those prayers, I even picture me cutting that umbilical cord and watching them float away from me.
Okay.
That they're leaving me. They're not there anymore. And I even had to do that with Dusty's ex-wife, because I remember I told you we were friends.
Yeah.
So there was an unhealthy soul tie there. And when I did that, a lot of, it just freed me even more. And have you forgiven him? Have you walked through the steps of forgiveness with him?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm confused about what happened, I guess, because well, a couple of years before, we had, my friend and I, we were in high school, we had these friends that were guys. In college, they lived behind her, and like they were like really good friends to us, and we trusted them. And I was at a party, we all were once, and a girl that I went to high school with that I was not friends with came up to me and said she saw one of them put something in my drink. And I just thought, what? Like, not these guys. She's like, yeah, one of them was distracting you and the other one put something in your drink. And so I said something to them, which I don't know why I did. Like, she said you guys did this, and they're like, no. And I ended up taking like the beer home and like leaving it outside of my parents' house. And I told my mom whenever we got home. And my dad, one of my friends was a police officer in our town. My dad took it up there and they tested it, and there was something like the date rape drug in it. And so I was just like, oh my gosh. You know, I was thankful that gal had told me. But anyway.
Wow. Yeah.
Then a couple years later, just
go ahead.
I was at, I didn't grow up in a Christian home. Like, I grew up like watching MTV, like Real World, and so I just thought, kind of like a movie, you make memories and have fun and whatever.
Oh yeah.
I was
oh my goodness. No. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
No, Jordan, only gonna put water in it.
You cannot do that.
Can I have water in there?
Oh gosh. Oh no.
Hey, no, man. Go back in there. You cannot get those, baby. No, ma'am.
Mom, I need some for my water.
What did I say?
I want some for my water.
You don't get to. You go back in there. You are fine. So anyways, you grew up like that, and what?
Okay, so I was in college. So been my sophomore year. I was at a bar, and one of the bartenders, this big guy, like football player type guy, was like kept giving me free drinks, and I didn't think anything about it. And I was kind of seeing this guy in a fraternity, which I don't even know why, because I don't know. Anyway, but I remember driving to that fraternity and being like so out of it, like not just like I had too many drinks, like just weird. But anyway, the only thing I remember was waking up, well, not like waking up, but like there was just a teeny tiny like glimpse, I guess, of
what had happened.
The guy, on top of me, like having sex. And I remember him saying, do you want me to stop? But I remember myself saying no, but I wasn't like, I don't know why I would say that. Like, I was just out of it. Anyway.
Well, anytime
woke up
in our systems.
Yeah, like I woke up the next day, and then I had told my mom, like, I think something happened, and she took me to the gynecologist and the nurse practitioner. She had said, like, yeah, like, because I had never done anything before that, and she said, you know, did happen. And so, but I never told my mom. I just said, oh, she said no, because I didn't want to deal with that.
Tell her. Yeah,
I told her after I was married. So anyway, like, I'm just so confused, like if that guy thought I was just willing,
so
if it was him,
who put it in your drink?
I think the bartender, because I think he just kept giving me free drinks.
Okay, but he didn't know this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a very...
Mm-hmm. And you didn't drink anything. You don't even know if so you don't even remember if you drank anything there with that guy.
Well, that's true. No, I don't.
So, yeah. Well, there are some things in my memory that like are not 100% with some things, but if you like anytime, even if you felt taken advantage of and you don't even, so what you're saying is you don't even know if you feel like you have unforgiveness for this guy because you don't know. Is that right?
Yeah, because I'm just like,
Well, maybe
I'm like, was
unforgiveness
it
towards
really?
the bartender.
Yeah.
I mean, how are your thoughts with the bartender? I mean, maybe it's not, I would search your heart where that's concerned for both of those guys. And then just kind of go from there, and then go through the forgiveness steps in that.
I put my cue feather in from my hands into the water. I put my ruler inside with the ice, and then I put some spray in there. Look.
No more. Okay, no more.
Look, I did this.
Yeah, no more.
Okay, let me get some more water.
No.
No,
Hey,
well, some are.
no. If that's your choice.
Well, some aren't full, and some aren't full right
Okay,
now.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Some aren't.
Okay.
Because some it's.
Okay, but don't make a mess.
Okay.
Okay. But I would go through that, especially with the soul ties on him and anybody else maybe you were intimate with. I don't know if you were, but just to break soul ties on every single person you were intimate with. That's going to help. And then go through the forgiveness steps in that situation because, you need to be free from that if you're not all the way. And these are just some of the steps, that you take when you go through healing on that. So even like inner vows that you've said to yourself, I will do this or I will never do this. I know that sounds crazy that we have to kind of break those, but it puts our mind in this little box, that we won't allow God in to. So I don't know if you have, if you've gone through any of that, but so from what you said from just now, that's what I would do. Break that soul tie. So that's because I don't want you to have to do so many steps every time.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to, I am so sorry. People are, okay. Oh, what's that noise? Is that a bird or is that like your highlighter or pencil? I heard it.
Oh, was it this?
No, that was weird. I didn't know where it was coming from.
There is a bird like outside the window.
Okay, maybe that's what that is. But those are what I was going to ask you about your God flip. So he's bringing you hope. So if you tell me, I'd love for you to every day when you get a chance, just to tell me maybe what God's showing you on Vox.
No.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Go to your room.
I don't want to go to my room.
Look at my eyes. Yes, ma'am. You stay in there right now. Yes, mommy. No, look at my eyes and say that again. Go. Okay. She's going to have to stay in there. She keeps coming and getting this food coloring. Now I have it all on me.
I guess with the whole situation, it's hard for me because I'm like, well, maybe it really wasn't a date rape because if it was the other guy that put something in and that guy thought I was willing, but
right.
I wasn't, and I well, you said no whenever you know what I mean? I just get these things anyway, I don't know.
But if you were in your right mind,
yeah,
then, even when you are drinking, we are more apt to be more open to things we wouldn't normally want to be open to. So let me ask you this. Are you dealing with unforgiveness with you for that situation?
Probably so.
Okay, there you go.
I think
Okay.
because I don't know that I was really planning to wait till I was married, but I just hadn't. And I, would have rather it had been something special. You know what I mean? Like, just when I look back at that time and just feel like, I think it was more of a, I don't know. Yeah, I think I just felt kind of ruined, I guess, and just.
Yeah. And so maybe you need to go through forgiveness steps for you, because what I've noticed too, maybe you know this, a lot of people will forgive people, but then they don't forgive themselves.
Yeah.
So maybe, have you done that before, or have you not ever done that before?
Well, like gone through steps to forgive myself, or.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yeah. That's a big one.
Because, then I'm like, well, I put myself in this situation, and just, anyway, but.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want you to go through that and start. Okay. I'm glad we hit on that, because that is a huge one, because that can make us have the shame. So any area, so write this down, any area where you feel like you need to have forgiveness in for yourself, you need to go through the steps for you. No, you stay in there.
Are you done?
Nope.
Am I getting a spanking?
Maybe. You should have said yes, Mommy. Okay. Yeah, so those are the steps that I would say to do this week, is continue your God flips, even though you think, some days you may think, I don't know what this is. Just trust God, and just, before you start, just say, just show me what you want to speak to me today. And like I said, sometimes it's for other people. Sometimes it's for you. Go through the soul ties, break the soul ties. And if there's an unhealthy soul tie with your parents, I had to do it with my mom. My mom wrapped her whole world around me because I was her only child.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it was suffocating, kind of. But I had to kind of release that part so it could be healthy. And now it is healthy, and I don't allow her to do this to me anymore. But she's like my best friend.
Yeah.
But I know how not to have her do that. But breaking that was really something I had to do. You can think of friends, anybody you were intimate with, and parents. And then just go through the steps of forgiveness for yourself, and kind of keep me posted and tell me if that's hard for you with the forgiveness for yourself, because you may need a little support, and I can support you through the Voxer, because it's not something that's easy. And anytime you're going through healing, Satan doesn't want you free. And so it doesn't mean he doesn't have more power than you. He doesn't have this huge power over you at all, but he doesn't want you free.
Yeah.
So just know that, and that's what I would say. And then also, if you want to, figure out your daughter's personality, you don't have to do that this week.
Yeah.
But, I would just be mindful of it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you already know about it. So,
yeah.
There's all these kinds that I've studied. Myers-Briggs, what color are you? Are you sanguine? Are you this? Are you that? Type C, type I, type, I'm always a sanguine. I'm always I. That's type 1. That's what that is. So, that's what is that too much?
No.
Okay. I don't want to overwhelm you. Everyone's like, okay, now do this and do that, blah, 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 blah. But
I'm excited. Like, I don't think we have anything going on next week, so I feel like it'll be
good. And then go over like the things that I told you to do last week and see if you've done them.
Yeah.
If you feel a little more free in those, and continue doing them until you do feel like you're free. And then this week is just kind of a layered to that one. So don't forget about week 1, what we've talked about here, because, you know, there's still that, you know, you want to make sure that you can gain trust with your husband, that you can be free and feel free to be able to do that, and free from that lady. And now we're dealing with your forgiveness for you, which is going to deal with some shame. Okay. So, and anything that you come in that book that you're reading that like highlights or stands out to you, let me know. Or you think, oh, this is hard, or, oh my gosh, yes, that's me. Let me know, because that kind of helps me know where to go.
Okay.
That sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll hop off, but I was going to pray real quick before we get off, because I don't think, have I done this yet? Like, I usually do this. Bree kind of distracts me sometimes. So do you mind if I pray?
No, huh?
Okay, so Lord, we just come before you, and we just lift all of this up to you. I lift Kylee up to you. I thank you for her willingness to be here, that God, you have a plan and a purpose, and just for her to be here right now. Lord, I pray everything that I speak to her, Lord, that you just use me as your vessel, and anything that I'm not supposed to say, just get it out of her mind. Lord, I just want it to all be you. And I pray for complete healing for her heart, for her whole body, from the top of her head to the soles of her feet, Lord. I thank you that, Lord, with her God flips, you are bringing her to redemption. You are bringing her to hope and to joy and to the promised land, God. So she doesn't have to stay how she is in this wilderness land of just a rejection and shame, but God, that she's going to walk in hope, and she's going to walk in joy, and she's going to walk in abundance. She's going to walk in all the gifts and promises that you have for her. And Lord, I pray that you would continue showing her every day your thoughts toward her. When there's a negative thought, I pray you show her what your thoughts are, and that she can automatically just know, nope, that's a lie. This is the truth. That's a lie. This is the truth. God, continue speaking your truth to her through all kinds of people, through all kinds of books, through all kinds of music, anything that comes in her path. God, I pray that you just continue to speak truth to her. I also pray, God, that you give her wisdom with her daughter, Lord. I pray that you make a connection there. It's not too late to feel that bonding. And so I pray, Father, right now, that there would be a supernatural bonding with her and her daughter, that you would give her wisdom with how to raise her. You would give her wisdom with the words to speak to her, Lord, and show her how to parent her. We have to parent each of our kids different. Lord, you've made her mom. She has everything in her that her kids need, but I ask for that you just show her how she's supposed to parent her, Lord. And I thank you that shame is going to be gone, that she will be able to forgive herself, Lord, that she's not going to beat herself up and feel like she has to stay in the same spot over things that she did or choices she made. God, no, that's not you. You say, shake it off, get up, I've got work for you to do. So I pray, Father, that you would just bless her in these areas, and know she didn't have to sit in things that she's done, that God, that you are there saying, hey, come on, just like a baby, when they walk, they fall and they get back up. You're saying, hey, come on, get up. I have work for you to do. It's okay that you fell. It doesn't matter. I knew all the choices you made, but I still have plans for you. So I just thank you for this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Well, I will get these sent to you as soon as they are processed, yesterday's and today.
Okay.
All right. I will talk to you later. I've got my stepson. He's coming over here like to take a shower. I don't even know why, but okay. All right. Bye-bye.
You.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye-bye.